G'day, I'm Mark Berg and welcome to Rapala Fishing News. We're here in the maintenance department at Akuma and we're with Big Tony, aka Big T. How are you, mate?
G'day Mark, how you doing?
Good. Now this is part of the series of how-tos that the Akuma guys want to bring to you guys. So, mate, I brought in this reel. It's one of my little V systems here. It's the 30 size and I'm going to use it for brim fishing.
Yep.
I've got some Suffix fuse. It's ideal for that sort of thing. It's 6 pound. But what I've found is sometimes putting braid onto a reel, you get a bit of line twist going on. What's the best way of spooling up your reel with braid?
Okay. Most spinning reels will spin clockwise. As most fishermen will know, that they usually stick a screwdriver through a spool and
Just
spool.
comes off that way?
Yeah. 9 out of 10 times when you're using a very small reel to an oversized spool, as it comes off, the rotation on the spool is putting twist into the braid.
Okay, yep. Because that's smaller than what's coming off
Absolutely,
here.
absolutely. So the way to avoid it is to actually find out which way the line is going on in comparison to the way it's coming off the caster.
Okay.
And by holding it sideways, put a bit of tension on it, it should lay on.
So you should actually put it this way as opposed to that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Depends on what you're spooling at the time. It could be a big reel, then it doesn't really matter. You can spool it in the direct.
Oh, okay. But if it's a smaller reel, you should place it on its side.
Absolutely. It takes out less twist off.
Well, that's a great tip. Okay, now let's get this off here and show us how you would start it off. Now, obviously the bar arm comes over.
Yep. Well, for starters, a lot of the fishermen would like to put some mono backing.
Yep.
So we'll start off with maybe 10 or 20 meters, sometimes 30 meters.
Is it necessary?
Well, if you put braid directly onto aluminium spool, because it's a shiny surface on the braid, as it compacts down, it becomes like a gasket, and it will slip.
It will slip on the spool.
On the spool.
Okay. Is there another way around that?
There is. You can either put the mono backing or put some tape down on the spool, so the braid it's got something to bond onto.
Okay. Well, let's do the tape version.
Okay.
So I'll hold the rod for you.
Okay.
And you can get it started.
Okay. Let's get some sticker tape.
So just your normal masking tape?
Yeah, a little bit of masking tape. Shouldn't need much, just enough so that the braid bonds onto.
Okay.
A short length would cover it. Straight onto the spool. Good cover.
And the braid actually just sort of grips onto it.
Absolutely. There's no more slippage. There's no shiny surface.
Now, is there any secret knot that you should be doing at this stage?
Well, again, it's many fishermen have got different style of knots. Mine is just a simple granny knot through the loop twice, and then basically fold it onto itself. And
so like it's just a slip knot you end up putting
pretty
over
much,
the top.
pretty much a slip knot. Yeah. Started off with a little loop, then fold it onto itself, and always find out which way is going to be pulling to get the tuck in, which is, and then fold it over and away we go.
Okay, now you can use machines to spool these, but they're better off if you just wind it straight on.
Absolutely, because you can dictate how much pressure you want on the spool. You can actually judge whether it's getting too many twists. If you just put it on the machine and walk away, exactly,
go straight
you
on.
don't know what you're getting. So as you spin it around, you'll see that I'm just applying a bit of pressure with my finger, and that's more than enough because there's no stretch in braid. You can.
So that's enough tension?
That's enough tension. Now, if I tell you to stop and hold the bottom of the braid, if I let go, you see there's any twist in there, you can change the direction of the way it's coming off the spool. Now start winding again, and this is how you work out where it's best suited to the reel. So as you can see, there's less twist now coming off the hand caster.
Yep.
You can stop again and grab the line again. We'll let it go down, so there's very little.
There's no real twist there,
Absolutely,
is there?
absolutely.
So if there was twist, that would twist
Curl,
as you reduce
and
that
it will show that it's very
very tricky. And that's just going on beautifully now.
Absolutely, and there's enough pressure there to make sure that the braid's not going to dig into itself. There's no any force.
And if your fingers heat up, you can just stop for a second.
Well, I mean, again, there's not much pressure there. So if you apply too much pressure, then the heat will tell you to slow down.
And that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
Now I'm going to spool this all the way.
Yeah.
So with the beauty of television, we'll be back in a second. Okay, Tony, I'm getting closer towards the end there.
Yes.
How do I know when enough's enough?
Okay, as you know, we just
emptied the spool, so that's enough.
That's right. Now you can see that it's just sitting inside the lip.
Yep.
That for me is perfect.
Yeah.
It can allow you for maybe a short length of leader to put on top without having to overwhelm the rim of the spool.
Okay.
To me, that is a perfect set spool up on an egg beater.
So you don't want it all the way to the edge?
Absolutely not.
A few mil under.
A few mil under, because that allows you to put any leader, be it fluorocarbon or monofilament or just a shock absorber when you do connect to the lure.
Well, that was pretty easy, really. It's not rocket science, is it?
Not at all.
But once you know, it's always a good thing to have.
Absolutely.
That's great. All right, well, thanks again, Tone.
You're welcome, Mark.
Beautiful.